worked. Hi, everybody. My name is Allison. Welcome to the live weekly channeling for the collective. I went live a couple minutes ago and it just kept spinning, so I'm glad that it's working. If you are here live, please say hi in the chat. I'm super happy to be here with all of you. And I hope that the chat's working. I see a couple comments, but I'm going to pull it up on my phone just to be sure, because I'm not seeing anybody doing any more comments. I wonder if it's, oh, there we go. Okay, Courtney, it's not showing you live. Hi, Kennedy. Hi, Matrix Free. Hi, Rodka. Okay, it's working. I always get so worried when I don't see the comments right away. And hi, Lewis. Thank you all for being here from Pleasant Ridge, Michigan. I love when you share where you're joining from, because it's always so fun to see how everybody's joining from so many different locations. There we go. Let's see. Philip from Charleston, West Virginia. Yeah, I had to refresh my page too. Hi, Stacy. Idaho. Courtney from Idaho. Cool. Well, hello, my loves. It is so fun to see you all here. It is so beautiful to be gathering. We are in a really beautiful energetic frequency. We're in a really beautiful time. Hi, Christina from Stockholm, Sweden. Kennedy from San Diego. I look sunburned. I actually think it's the contrast of this. I'm like, so my screen is backwards. I was like, oh, well, let me move my screen. I actually think it's the contrast from what I'm wearing to my skin. I'm not sunburned, actually. The past couple of days, I've been indoors mostly. Hi, Floor. Good to see you. Yeah, and also the lighting. You know how the lighting is. So good to see you all. So how are you all doing with these energies? How are you all feeling right now? How is your summer going? And as you share, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share some announcements with you. So first announcement, summer camp is coming up. It is so soon. Hi, Charlene. Hi, Jesse from Sacramento. So summer camp is coming up. It will be August 1st through 4th. Those of you who are already coming, I'm super excited to see you. And if you haven't yet signed up, we do have spaces available. Just earlier this week, I went to the location where we're going to have summer camp, and I got a tour from the couple who owns the space. It's this huge cabin. It's actually 2 different cabins in Jasper, Arkansas. So it's just really beautiful. The energy there was so good. I could see everybody coming in and playing and how amazing it was going to be. So I am really excited. I'm excited to gather with all of you. Those of you who are already signed up, I'm excited to see you. And yeah, so summer camp information in the description box below. If you have any questions, send me an email and I will get you started, or leave a comment and I'll get back to you. All right, let's read some of these. Oh yeah, so go ahead and add your questions into the chat. If this is your first time here, what I do is I channel for one of you, and then I'm going to channel for the collective. So if you have a question, type Q at the beginning of it, and then type your question into the chat, and I'm going to choose one from random number generator to channel on, okay? Wednesday. Okay, good. So a couple other announcements. I have a private community. It's called the True Creator Community. This is separate from this online space, and it's a separate space. It's private. Once a month, I go live in there and I channel a message on a specific topic, which for the month of August is going to be money and finances. I know a lot of you are wanting to know more about that. And I thought, oh, who was it? Somebody brought that up. Ernesta, in our last channeling, she brought that up as a question. And I thought, let's just do a whole channeling on it. So that's that. That's what's going to be happening for there. And then we also have a community call once a month. So it's a lot like this, but we gather on Zoom. Or no, it's actually a private video chat, not Zoom, but we gather in the community and you guys can actually interact, get to know each other. Community is really helpful for a lot of people in this awakening process, in this journey. So if you are one of those people who desires more community, more people who really understand you, then this is a great place for you. All right, I see some of these questions coming in. I love it. Okay, another announcement is that my one-on-one session, so I offer channeled message sessions. It's a one-on-one Zoom call. They last 40 minutes. So the price on this is going up. Hi, Ernesta. I just gave you a shout out, love. So the price on my one-on-one sessions is going up at the end of this month, which is July, if you're watching it at another time. So at the end of July, my one-on-one channeling sessions are going up in price. My guides have really been pushing me to do this, and they said, you need to do this now. So what I'm anticipating is that some changes are going to be happening in my world, which will make me potentially less available for channelings. I'm not sure how exactly that looks, but if you would like a one-on-one session with me, I highly recommend that you book that this month, okay? Because again, in August, the price on those are going up. I still offer single question channelings, which are voice note recordings. The voice note will be sent to you within 5 business days. So, there's still that availability for connection with me, but the video call sessions are going to be shifting. All right, my love. So I see lots of questions. I am going to read through those. If you still have a question that you want to type it into the chat, go ahead and do that. Also, feel free to go in and let me know who's coming to summer camp. I'd love to see. Raise your hand if you're coming to summer camp in the chat. And I'm going to pull up random number generator. Oh, thank you, Radka. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see. Kennedy's going. Kennedy says, me, so excited and grateful. All right, let's see how many questions we currently have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Any conferences? So currently we have 5 questions. I'll see if anybody else types in. Any conferences in the US? So right now in fact, I just started yesterday, you guys. I got really, really exhausted after the West Coast portion of my book tour. So the East Coast portion, I needed rest. I needed to recalibrate. I needed to internally realign. And so I didn't start planning the East Coast portion until just yesterday. So I will be doing more in-person events. this fall on the East Coast. And also, I am open to invitations. So I have a couple larger podcast interviews coming out as well. So that a lot is going to be expanding and shifting. And I'm glad that you asked that, actually, because I wanted to share this with you. Um, I had a vision really early on in my awakening of the level, the scale of impact that I'm going to be having. And what I mean by that is I saw how many people I'm going to reach and a large portion of the work that I'm going to be doing. And this came through years and years ago. So I've seen this for a while. I feel a little emotional talking about this for some reason. It's interesting, but essentially it is really starting to amplify and expand the people that I'm reaching. So there's more and more. And I wanted to let you know, those of you who enjoy this more personal connection, get in on it now. And I'm just saying that because I know that sometimes when things shift, I just won't have time for as much of this individual connection. And I'm saying that from a place of total humility. It's just, I see visions and I know what's going to be coming. And so I like to tell people, hey, if you want that one-on-one connection with me, now's the time. So summer camp, come this year. The True Creator community, join now, because things are going to be shifting over the course of the next year where it just won't be quite as available for that one-on-one. It's there's really going to be an expansion happening. Excuse me. That's me getting emotional and choking over my words. I'm just letting you all know. I can feel it. I can feel it. And so I wanted to let you guys know. Okay. So is it 5? Do we have 5 questions? Let me know. Do you see 5 questions? Yes, 5. Okay, cool. All right. Let me choose that number. Question number 3. All right. 1, 2. How do I deal with low motivation? Okay, good question. Good question. I'm also in this collective channeling going to check in on the shifts that are happening. Now, I've been saying for a while that July is going to be kind of a hot month. There's going to be a lot of shifts. And what that, it's actually Clayton. Oh, I read the wrong one. Oh, okay. Thank you for calling that out. Let me read the right question. Thank you, guys. How unbalanced are masculine and feminine energy in my field, and where should I focus to balance it? Really, really good question. Okay, how unbalanced are masculine and feminine in my field, and where should I focus to balance it? Love, love, love that. Maybe we'll do both. Maybe there's some sort of divine intervention for that. I'm also going to be looking at the realms of the socio-political collective experience based on what we've got going on in the U.S. Those of you who've been tuning in for a while, you know that you've heard this from me before, that there's going to be a lot of shifts in July. And we actually can have the personal experience of pretty massive growth this month is what I've been seeing. And most of what I've been seeing with something's happening in July, I keep saying that something's happening in July. what I've really been seeing is within the realm of the socio-political experiences. So I'm going to be checking on that during this channeling, from the lens of the higher realms, right? Because we don't want to get caught up in the dualistic experiences of life. We want to be liberated. We want to, and true liberation comes from not being attached in the dualistic perception, not being locked into dualistic mentality, right? We're moving into all is one, which means that we hold the perspectives of dualism, both sides at the same time. And I think that it's really powerful that the question that ended up getting asked is around the masculine and feminine polarities. So we're going to be looking at that. Yeah, and we'll just see where it goes. But I wanted to let you all know that I'm going to be looking at a little bit at that too, because now that things are physically manifesting in terms of those shifts, I'm curious. All right. Can everybody hear me okay before I close my eyes? So just to let you all know how this is going to go, I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to tune into this question, and then I'm going to go into the collective reading. Okay, good. You can hear me. And yeah, I love it when you continue to type in the chat. I love it when, okay, good. I'm so glad. I love it when you continue to connect with each other, share how this is resonating for you. And then I will, when I open my eyes, I'd love to read the chat. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of get into these energies. Okay. Oh, immediately. Wow. Wow. That's so beautiful. This is going to go into the collective, but I'll definitely dive into this question. Immediately, I hear that proclamation, be not afraid. Really beautiful. Okay, so I want to go into the individual question first. First. And the question is around balancing the masculine and feminine polarity. What I'm picking up in your field, yours in particular, the person who asked this question, is there is a bit of imbalance with the feminine sort of being more prominent. Now, let's say this. In their divine forms, masculine and feminine are the divine masculine and feminine are always balanced. Meaning they're not truly in their divine form unless there is a balance. So that being said, the feminine energy is also out of balance. It's just more prominent. So the masculine and the feminine energies are slightly out of balance, which makes both of them individually a little bit incomplete, we could say. Not the full spectrum of their divine expression. And the way that it's showing up in your field in particular is a fear of dominance is the word that's coming through, a fear of overtaking. And this happens so frequently in the spiritual communities, in individuals who are desiring to really be peacemakers in the world. What often happens is there's a suppression of the divine masculine within, and that makes the divine feminine sort of not really know how to hold the field, not really know where to go, not really feel safe in being the full expression of the divine feminine because there aren't any boundaries and walls. Note that boundaries and walls are naturally occurring. They are an expression of the linear frequency, the linear expression of the divine masculine. That being said, there's never truly anything linear, and there's never truly anything in chaos. Okay? So those two polarities, our perception of them, make us want to repress certain aspects. It's what we call chaos is not chaos, it's harmony. What we call linear is actually simply expression of grid work, expression of divine connection. If you think of lines, they connect points. That's how a line is formed. It's a connection between points. So we can see that the divine expression of these comes through allowing the fullness of each polarity, which is it's a lot, but it's also incredibly divine. When we're looking at spirituality through the lens of our mental paradigm, we think that this powerful divine masculine is going to come out as domineering. It doesn't. It comes out with full structure, yes, but how delicious is that structure? It's called upon. It's called upon so that the full expression of the divine feminine can be met with a strength, a container, a knowingness of there are no boundaries, and yet here I can hold this container. And so as each person internally within becomes their own divine union of the full expression of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, the growth of each expression occurs. The lack of filtration of each expression occurs. And as this happens, there's a little bit of a catching up period sometimes for some people. We would even say for many people, the catch up is what we interpret as messy. The catch up is what we interpret as not divine expression. But how could there ever be such a thing? All is divine. All is divine. It is so massively important that we know that at this point. All is truly divine. Okay? And the catch up of allowing things to come through that have been repressed is often the fear. It creates the fear that makes us want to hold it back. So, for example, if we've been repressing our inner feminine, we lack the joyful, creative expression because we see it as chaos, or we see it as spontaneous, too unfiltered. And so then when an individual starts to open those floodgates that have been repressed for so long and allow the expression of the divine feminine to come through, what ends up happening is this fear of chaos. And then sometimes, bloop, it looks a little crazy. It looks a little spontaneous. It looks messy. It's the beginning. It's allowing it to play catch up with the vibrations within you. Now, that being said, all is always, in the larger scheme of things, in divine harmony, in balance. It's all a pure, perfect expression. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go into the collective channeling. Whew. Wow. Ha. Okay. The frequency that just came through. Ha. You are all divine beings. There is no expression that could not be divine. Shu'u tikara onamo kushtukurai indataka. On the deepest level, the deepest of levels, you know your soul signature. You can never not be your soul signature. However, the fullness of your expression is being called forward now, in this moment now. This moment, this time in the human landscape of things is when you have decided to fully activate. Allow the full expression of your divinity to come through now. There is immediately a questioning within the mind. How can this happen? How do we do this? How? You know how. Stop trusting your minds to show you the way. Your heart will show you the way. Your heart is the divine expression of the fullness of who you are. Come into this space now. We are calling you to the fullness of your divine expression now. And there's nothing that cannot meet you there. There is no experience. There is no person. There is no expression within the all that is that cannot meet you within that divine space of creation within each of you. Meaning, you will not leave anything behind. That's a bogus fear. What really happens is the fullness of everything that you could ever want to create comes into the here and now, and you begin to allow it to flow. You begin to allow it without the fear of losing something or missing something. You each know yourselves as this full expression. It is the truest beingness of who you are. You know it. Some divine frequency is coming through for anyone who desires to receive it in this moment now. Any resistance that you feel or experience in your worlds is simply allowing you to see the truth. Meaning, when you are met with the perception of resistance, your soul light, knows the truth so much that the illusion is instantly dissolved. It's an opportunity for the illusion to dissolve if you are met with resistance. Any resistance, health, people, perceptions of what's happening in the world, any resistance to the divine expression of who you are will simply be met with laughter and a blowing down of these illusions. It's a joyful game now. You are each allowed to fully express the joy of your divinity. Nothing can be held against it. Nothing ever has been. It's simply the perception. And now that's shifting. Allow the voice of God to beam through your being, which is to say the fullest expression of the all, channeling through your divine vessel. It's interesting in this space to feel the frequency so strongly that I don't even want to look for any specifics. And I'll naturally, they're telling me I'll naturally be guided to the specifics. Because that's what I'm here for, to deliver these messages. So it comes. Because humans need words right now. Because humans need verbal messages. And yet we can all play in the landscapes of no words needed. What I'm seeing now, thank you for that individual question and moving into the collective channeling. What I'm seeing now is a pillar, like a column of white light. And I want to ask what that is. It is the right. It is it is the rising of these new frequencies, these new earth frequencies. Much like buildings are erected in your current ideology of structure within the physical plane, so are these buildings being made manifest now in the etheric realms, in the energetic realms, the realms that you call heaven. There is no way for these to not show up within what you call the physical expression, experience, human realms, in all landscapes that humans inhabit. For as you begin to bring your frequency to a place of stabilization within these higher frequencies, you will know absolutely, which is to say you will experience within the physical these structures as well. There is no limitation to what you can create here. And no limitation is needed because there isn't an attachment to right and wrong. The attachment to good and bad, good and evil, is what creates the limitation. Free yourselves of that now. Begin to create on a new level. Trust us to say that you will only want to create from love. You will only desire to create from the fullness of your joy, which is a divine expression of love. The interpretation of this, being good or bad, is simply within these denser structures that are now dissolving. The game has been played. Play on a new level. You can see as these structures are dissolving that many things seem to implode upon themselves. Many things seem to be scary. Many new or supposedly new revelations will continue to come forward. Many things will be exposed, as you say. This is simply because things are disintegrating within the denser structures of reality. Whatever cannot hold the light will cease to exist. We've said this before. We will continue to say it. Be not afraid. Remember that the attachment is what creates the limitation. Are you then attached to a good guy and a bad guy? Are you then attached to the holding prisoner of those you believe who have wronged? Or can you liberate yourselves and all those that you believe who have wronged? Can you be in the place of the eternal now, which needs no resolution and no forgiveness? It is simply the now. And from the now, the new is created. You may still be within the realms of the illusion of holding people accountable. This is a false paradigm, meaning this is a paradigm that is only supported by the denser structures that are currently falling apart. There is no such thing as holding one accountable and still moving into the frequencies of the new, or delivering The perception is this delivering of divine justice. This is also part of the illusion. Let it fall apart. Let it simply fall apart. Let your eyes be drawn to the eternal love of the fullness of who you are. And that's all. Humans have so accepted the illusion that in order to resolve these conflicts, we need to create more conflicts. We need to banish and ban and create bad. This will never work. This will never work. Let the lower density realms play their games until the games fall apart, because the structures of light coming to the planet will not sustain them. And it's beautiful and it's pure and it's always been perfect. And what a fun game. Please congratulate the beings who are still playing this game. What a fun game to have created. From the human perception, it doesn't seem to be so, but it is. It is. There is no right and wrong from our perception. There is no need to hold one accountable in the denser belief systems that you currently hold as justice. What ends up happening is a recreation of old patterns from that perspective. One cannot be right without another being wrong. Release yourselves from the perception of these dualistic structures. Play in the new, create. Nothing is holding you back from that now. Once you realize your true liberation from all of these structures, you will know once again that you are limitless. I want to look at, when we focus on the new that's being created, the vast potential and what we'll begin to see. I'm also going to look at what is being dissolved. So let me see, my attention's being brought to what is being dissolved. I'm seeing a big explosion. I'm sorry to bring that through. I'm seeing a big explosion. Is this a metaphor? No, this is not a metaphor. Okay. And I'm being reminded that by looking at that, I am attuning to the expansion of that. So I'm going to now look at the creation of the new that we're coming into. Oh, the first thing that I see is these boundaries that each of us have created within ourselves that limit us from loving each other to the fullest extent. Those are being dissolved. Those are being dissolved. We're seeing the divine expression of all of each of us. We're coming into sacred heart connection, simply because we desire nothing less than that. That's all we desire, sacred heart connection. From this space of sacred heart connection, from this space of the expansion and the fullness of the heart being channeled through into our daily experience, we're going to see massive amount of changes. Imagine loving everyone without limitation, without fear, because the love comes from within. The love is unconditional. It's not conditional upon what someone else does or doesn't do or how they show up, because the fullness is within. When the fullness is within, there's no option other than love. That's just all there is. And imagine moving and creating from that. The divine kiss. This is what I'm seeing, the divine kiss, the third eye awakening, the activation. The limitless potential of joy and expansion, and what's often called co-creation. It's just purely creation from two harmonized divine templates, which is to say humans, the divine template. Of course, we would build within the structuring of sacred geometry, of course, because we see the templates. Of course, we would have the divine expression of each individual that behaves as the harmonization of sacred geometry in action. How could it not be so? When we have no limitations, we only operate within the fields of completeness. This is what we're moving into. It's less of information on the specifics of what things look like, although everything looks like this beautiful flow of sacred geometry, and everything is an expression of that unconditional love toward one another. I'm here for that. I'm here for that. Blessings to all of us who are here for that, consciously or unconsciously. Blessings to all who are dissolving the old games, consciously or unconsciously. Blessings to all who are powerfully creating the new, playing within the new fields, which are not new. They're simply the fullness, the unbarriered structure, the expansive expression of all that we are. So much divine love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Kind of takes me a minute to read again. Okay. Nanu. 777. Murmur, who are you? That is one of my numbers right now. Yay, Mike. Dr. Josie Valderrama, hi. Thanks for hopping on. Mike, I'm glad that I'm assuming that you're going to go dancing, and I love, love, love that expression. Yeah, I don't know. I just saw an explosion. Not focusing on it. It's to come, though. It feels like this month. Lots breaking down. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you, Jessie. Hi, Richard. Hi, Radka. Thank you. I already said hi to you, Radka. Thank you. I'm so glad that was well received. I love you all. I'm also going to go play because it is a beautiful day here, and I want to express the fullness of my divinity through play. I love you all. I am really excited to see many of you at summer camp, and also in the True Creator community, which is the online space, private community space. All of the information is in the description box. All right. I love you guys. Bye. Aww.